hatchbacks, SUVs, crossovers, and now compact minivans are the latest fad. And it's not just in the mass segment, because Mercedes-Benz has been offering the B-Class for quite some time. It's been recently refreshed. And now BMW is joining the pack with its 2 Series Active Tourer. Before we get to the practicality part, a few words to explain what the 2 Series Active Tourer really is and why it's such a big deal among BMW fans. This is the first front-wheel drive Beamer. For many years it was Audi's thing. Then Mercedes came up with the B-Class, A-Class and the CLA. And finally BMW gave in. Interestingly enough, a few years back the Bavarians polled the 1 Series owners, only to find out that 80% of them thought they were driving a front-wheel drive car. It seems that beside motor journalists and tire-smoking teens who can't afford a new BMW, nobody really cares about the masculinity which goes with rear-wheel drive. Therefore, introducing a front-wheel drive minivan seems like a sensible decision, especially since the new Mini is already based on the same platform, and joining it will soon be the new 1 Series and X1. Front-wheel drive is one thing, but what about practicality? Let's look in the boot, which is 468 liters. Now that's less than in the Mercedes-Benz B-Class and a lot less than in the Volkswagen Golf sports van. Now I do appreciate that there is any sort of luggage arrangement system. There's this kind of split folding double floor thing, but I do prefer Volkswagen's solution where I can just drop the floor a notch. Here I can't do that. I can only sort of fold it halfway or make it flat, but then we have all this space down there. Rear seat backrests are split into 3 parts so you can carry longer items like skis. Unfortunately, you can't fold the seats from the boot. You have to peek inside the cabin and pull a strap. As you would expect, in a back of a minivan, there is a lot of legroom. I'm 175 centimeters tall. This front seat is now set for someone who's 175 centimeters, namely yours truly. And I've got plenty of legroom and plenty of headroom. What I don't have is this picnic tray table here that you sometimes get in minivans. And now this is a question for you. I know that choosing a family car, you like little things like a picnic tray table, so it could be something that affects your buying decision. Now the question is, once you buy a car with this picnic tray table, do your kids or do you actually use it? And there is a tunnel here in the middle. BMW 2 Series Active Tourer also comes with X-Drive, all-wheel drive, so yeah, the tunnel is necessary, but unfortunately it's big enough and the air vents are moved backwards so much that you can't really put your feet here. I mean, not unless you're a kid with feet like that. And if you've got feet like that, you probably won't reach there anyway. But the middle seat, once you get on it, you know, it's not too bad. There is space for your feet down there somewhere on both sides of the tunnel. So yeah, if you're unlucky enough to travel here, I guess you can for a short while, provided that the other 2 people are slightly slimmer than me. In the front, it's typical BMW on the top of the dashboard, but some changes are visible lower near the gear lever. The driving mode button is in a different place and the cup holders are in a slightly different position. Oh, and the armrest is different as well. And what is that? In a car costing around 45,000 euros? If you're considering a BMW 2 Series Active Tourer, you probably don't care about the ideological debate between rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, and how masculine it is to drive a rear-wheel drive car. You probably want a comfortable car and you want a car that's good for your family, but at the same time with some BMW traits. And I guess this car delivers just that. I've been driving this car for the past week or so, and if you ask me whether it's front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, most of the time I couldn't tell the difference. Okay, so back roads are a bit icy now because it's winter, as you can probably see outside the window, but most of the time I don't know if it's front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. The steering is precise, very precise. It gives me very good feedback of what the front wheels are doing. The suspension is rather firm. The car doesn't roll in the corners. It doesn't feel like a minivan, I can tell you that. Okay, this car is equipped with optional adaptive active steering, which makes the steering sharper, and it has the optional M suspension. I don't know if it really needs that, but yeah, it's got these options. Probably without them, it would be more like the Volkswagen Golf sports van to drive. But if you want sporty handling, BMW delivers, even in a minivan. This is a 218D, which in BMW speak means a 4-cylinder 2-liter diesel, 150 horsepower. There is also a more powerful version of this diesel, and there is a 3-cylinder 1.5-liter diesel, which we know from the Mini. The petrols are also 1.5 3-cylinder and 2-liter 4-cylinder with power ranging between 136 and 231 horsepower. The 218D accelerates from 0 to 100 km per hour in just below 9 seconds. This test car comes with an 8-speed automatic, which is, well, it's smoother than the 7G-tronic in Mercedes-Benz, and it's got 2 more gears than the DSG in an equivalent 2-liter 150 horsepower diesel Golf sports van. BMW claims in the combined cycle this car will do 4.1 liters per 100 kilometers, which I think is a bit optimistic. I've been getting around 8 liters per 100 kilometers. Okay, the temperatures are sub-zero, it's minus 8.5 right now, but even with the temperatures on the plus side, I don't think I could go below 7.5.
An interesting bit is this head-up display. As far as technology goes, it's nothing new. It's just that BMW used a small piece of plastic coming out of the dashboard rather than display the picture on the whole windscreen. This has to do with price, because you don't have to install a more expensive coated windshield. It's also easier and cheaper to replace if the window cracks. Although you sit rather high, visibility is obstructed by thick A-pillars, and these small triangles at the bottom are not much help either. Things get even trickier when it's snowing or raining, because the wipers leave 3 or 4 centimeters next to the A-pillar untouched. Visibility over the shoulder is also nothing to write home about, so be careful when changing lanes. But I like the rear wiper. It's mounted on top of the boot lid, it's covered from the snow, and it doesn't freeze. Prices of the BMW 2 Series Active Tourer start at around 27,000 euros. This example with extra kit costs around 45 grand, about 30% more than a similarly equipped Volkswagen Golf sports van.
This is an iPhone and this is an Android smartphone. They have similar specs and they can pretty much do similar things. However, you would probably choose an iPhone over this Android smartphone if you could afford one. And to judge the BMW 2 Series Active Tourer, you have to ask yourself whether you're looking for a minivan or a premium minivan. Watch more of my reviews and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Google+. You'll find all the links in the description below. And now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.